Ask About My Butterfly. So I just wanted to share a little bit on what Ask About My Butterfly means. Ask About My Butterfly is about my daughter. I have another baby that I lost when I was 17. She was stillborn because of some medical complications, and it was really hard for me to lose my inner child. It literally felt like my inner child died, and for a few years I lost touch with who I was inside, my playfulness, my happiness, and I wanted to share one of the things that helps me tap back into my inner child and tap back into feeling those feelings, because it's not good to just sweep feelings under the rug. You want to embrace them and fully feel them, and every time that I'm feeling sad about her, or even just having a hard time, it's good to remember that our loved ones are never truly gone. They're always close to us, and they always will be watching over us or protecting us or influencing our lives. Like, we keep them alive by living and remembering them and doing things that they would have or could have done, or even things that they did that influenced your life. Something that I'm going to do today is I'm going to read these 2 poems that I was given after my daughter died. I hope that these help you think of someone that you've lost. So the first one: these are my footprints, so perfect and so small. These tiny footprints never touched the ground at all. Not one tiny footprint, for now I have wings. These tiny footprints were meant for other things. You will hear my tiny footprints in the patter of the rain, gentle drops like angels' tears of joy and not from pain. You will see my tiny footprints in each butterfly's lazy dance. I'll let you know I'm with you if you just give me the chance. You will see my tiny footprints in the rustle of the leaves. I will whisper names into the wind and call each one that grieves. Most of all, these tiny footprints are found on Mommy and Daddy's tears. 'Cause even though I'm gone now, we'll never truly part. I don't know who wrote that, but that is a poem that my grandma found and gave to me. Okay, so the next poem is called Life is Still Good. The grief we feel at first can be compared to a raging forest fire, wild and out of control. It destroys all life within its range. We are powerless to stop it as it burns and destroys. Nothing will ever be good again. As the fire slowly dies down, we are surrounded by the ugliness of black, charred death and destruction. But after a time, the rains come and gently carry away the soot and ashes, and slowly we see small green shoots of life spring forth. And so it is with our grief, a time when we saw signs of green life in our lives once again. It may be smiling or laughing aloud. It may be experiencing joy and happiness once for a brief time. It may be feeling an hour or day has gone by without being engulfed in our sorrow. we are beginning to recover. As the forest once again grows back into a living habitation, we re-enter life, but the forest has changed. Never again will it look or be completely the same. It must start over with what it has, and we have changed too. Never again will life be quite the same. We will always be different people because of our loss. We parents will always carry the burning embers of the forest fire within our hearts. They are eternal embers and memories which will be with us forever. Sometimes they will be fanned back into flames again by difficult days such as birthdays, anniversaries, the birth of a friend's baby, or the first day of school. These are like grass fires. Usually not very destructive, but they can make you feel out of control. After a long time, the forest is blooming and beautiful and full of life once again. How soon this occurs depends a lot on the climate and nutrients available to the land. We all reach this point at different times and stages. Each of us works through our grief in different ways, because we all live in different climates. Some have more support available. Some are struck for a while in various stages. Others find a faith in God to be of great help. But wherever you are right now, I want to offer a word of hope and encouragement to you, and that is, life is still good. We have lived through an event that most of us probably considered to be the worst thing that could ever happen to us. But we survived. We can recover. We can grow as people. Those eternal embers we carry in our hearts are sorrow. How would if those embers would ignite into flames into our lives a new sense of compassion, a sensitivity toward others, and a new love and appreciation for life. That is by Terry Holmquist, and I think that poem's applicable to anybody who loses someone, because we all lose someone and we all have grief in our hearts, and it's really hard to move on. I even had my best friend die when I was 13 years old. He had cancer, and basically as soon as it comes, you're hopeful they're not gonna die, but it got to a point where it was very obvious, and I knew he was gonna die. And I feel sometimes like I've been in that survival mode since that happened. I fear that everyone around me is going to die, and when I was 17 and I lost my first baby, that reassured that feeling for me, and I don't want to live in that fear anymore. I want to be confident that life is all around me, and that's really a perspective. You can feel like everything is dead and dying around you, or you can feel like everything is coming back to life. And in the state of our world right now, things are really hard because it seems like everything's dying, but I feel like it's kind of like a forest fire, and we need to take it as our duty to put the nutrients back into the earth and become whole again. It's not gonna look the same as it did before, but that's okay. So along with me talking about Ask About My Butterfly, that poem especially I think helped me a lot, because I started my business and started helping people and all these things to nurture my inner motherly instincts, because losing my baby was really hard for me, because not only physically was I craving to help people or help somebody, my spirit was craving it too. And so instead of letting it completely engulf me, I took initiative to go out and help people, and I started using crystals and realized that this sacred energy of the earth is so healing. And if you haven't used crystals or herbs or any other like earth healing energies, I invite you to start practicing now, because this sacred earth energy that we have available to us is more beneficial than you could possibly imagine. And it also goes with your intent. Like, you put the intention of healing, and these crystals will amplify that for you. And that is exactly why I started Ask About My Butterfly. And I just want to help anybody that I possibly can, and this is something that's very important to me. So I hope you have a beautiful healing journey, and just remember that that feeling will never truly go away, and that's okay. That's good, because you want to use that fire in your heart to put into your passions and help other people and use it for good, and maybe even save the world. You never know. So have a nice day, and remember to let your tears out, make peace with your sorrows and griefs, and move on with your life.